common applications, we have here the compound interest. So what is this compound interest? It is an interest that is computed on the principal and accumulated past interest. So when we are going to save money or lend money, over a time, it will increase in value, meaning there will be an interest for that specific value or a specific amount that is called principal value. So over a certain period, it will accumulate an interest value, and if we accumulate the past interest together with the principal amount every year or over a period of time, that will mean a compound interest. So how this will be represented in an exponential function? So again, we are in compound interest. How can we represent it in an exponential function? So if a principal P is invested at an annual rate R, compounded annually, then the amount after T years is given by A, which is the future value, equals to P, which is the principal amount or principal value, then multiplied to the quantity to 1 plus R. Your R here is the annual rate. So every year, what will be the rate of that compound interest? Then raised to this quantity, this whole 1 plus R will be raised to a P. What is this P? This is the number of years. Again, since this is the annual rate, that means that you are going to use a unit of years in your value of P. So now, let's have an example.
So let's have this given problem. Mrs. Garcia invested 150,000 in a company that offers 5% interest compounded annually. Give an exponential model for this situation and solve how much will the investment worth at the end of each year for the next 5 years. So this problem is involves compound interest, which is this is the hint or the term compounded annually. So meaning every year, the investment of Mrs. Garcia will accumulate a 5% from the investment or the principal value. So let's first give the given of this problem. So given, for the solution, let's define the given first. So for this problem, we have a principal amount of 150,000 pesos, and the rate, which is denoted as R, will be 5% compounded annually. That is equivalent to 0.05. So just divide it by 100. So right there. So you have 0.05. So now let's define the exponential model. But let's have the worth of each of the value for each year. So let's have at t is equals to 0. So initially, you have the investment or the you have the amount, which is equals to 150,000. So at t is equals to 1, you will now have a compound interest. So your 150,000 will be multiplied to will be your 150,000 will have an additional 5%. So that is 150,000 times 0.05. So this is also equals to 150,000 times 1 plus 0.05. So this value is 1.05. Now, for the second year, this is for the first year. So you will have 150,000 times 1.05. That is equivalent to 157,500 pesos. So that is the total investment of Mrs. Garcia for the first year. So this is the 1 year. Now, let's have for the second year. So we have T here equals to 2 years. So now the value of the investment will be multiplied twice. So 2 times of this. So we have 150,000 plus 2 times of 150,000 times 0.05. So let's just have squared because we're just multiplying it to itself 2 times. So we have equivalent 150,000 plus multiplied by 1 plus 0.05 raised to 2. So in compounding, in compound interest, you will have to determine the first, you will have to have the 157,500 as your initial, as your principal for the second year. So it is also equals to 157,500 times 1 plus 0.05. So let's compute. So this one we have 150,000 times 1.05 raised to 2, and the 1.05 squared, that is equivalent to, I'll just write again, 150,000, that is equivalent to 1.1025. So when we get the value times 150,000, that is equivalent to 165,375. How about this one? So we have 157,000 times 500 times 600 plus times 1 plus 0.05, that is 1.05, that is equals to 100 65, that is also equals to 165,375 pesos. So they are just the same. This is the investment, the whole investment of Mrs. Garcia for the second year. How about for the third year? So we have now the amount, which is 150,000. So we can just multiply it to 1 plus 0.05 quantity raised to 3. So since we are now in third year, just like here, you just raise it to 2 because you are multiplying the whole principal, the initial value, to twice of this interest rate. So now we have 150,000. Let's first solve the 1.05 raised to 3. So that is equals to 1.157625. So multiplied to our principal value, we have a total of investment, which is 173,643.75. So now, this is the investment for the third year. We can verify it by multiplying 1.05 to our investment for the second year. So let's try 65,375 pesos times 1.05. That is also equals to 173,643.75. So for our fourth year, so if t is equals to 4, so now we have an amount which is initially 150,000 times 1 plus 0.05 raised to 4, because this time we are in fourth year. So the value will be we have 1.05 times 1.05 times 1.05 times 1.05 times 150,000. That is equivalent to 182,325 pesos and 9375 cents. So that is for the fourth year. And last, so since we are asked to get for the amount worth of the investment for the next 5 years, so we have now t raised to 5. So fifth year. So the total amount will be 150,000 times 1 plus 0.05 raised to 5. That is equivalent of 191,442 pesos and 23.44 cents. So these are the values of investment for the next 5 years. So now, let's give the exponential model for this situation, for the compound interest of the investment of Mrs. Garcia. So our amount of investment is equals to principal value times 1 plus the rate raised to number of years. So that is 150,000 pesos times 1 plus, what is our rate here? That is 0.05 raised to t. So our amount of investment is a function of t, meaning it divides to the number of years or the time of how long will be the investment. So this is our exponential function. So this is the time.